Hello guys, Mr. Dandaman2050 here, welcome to another video, and in today's video guys we're going to be comparing a GTX 760 in SLI versus a single 780. Now a lot of people are thinking, these cards are around the same price in terms of the fact that you can get two 760s for the price of one 780. Now we all know that SLI, shall I say, doesn't scale exactly 100% in most scenarios, including on multiplayer and when games first come out. But however, SLI is the technology which can be used, say, if you buy a system and then, say, 1 or 2 years, you then want to upgrade it and add another card, which, to be honest, isn't a bad idea. And technologies like SLI and Crossfire, they are becoming more popular because the actual technology is getting better, and the scaling in games these days is getting much, much better indeed. Now thank you to ursiaholic.ch for providing me the details to make this video. As we can see, I'm just going to be going over some games, and yeah, just going to be mentioning some games to see if the SLI 760 actually beats a 780, because they are, the cards are similarly priced, and two 760s, I'm just going to say, it's clearly going to use more power, and chances are the heat in your case is going to be like miles higher. But you could possibly get more frames for your money, so we're going to see how that can go. Now first of all, benchmarking in Bioshock Infinite. As you can see, with the GeForce GTX 780 we get 90 FPS, and then with the SLI 760s we get 116 frames. So as you can see, that's about 128% increase, a 28% increase, sorry. As you can see there, you're getting about 28% more frames. Now, you aren't exactly spending that much more because they are very similar price, and yeah, you're getting more frames, so this might be something to consider indeed. Now moving on to Far Cry 3, again I personally do enjoy because it looks really good, I must say. I'm running the game on Ultra with two 760s in SLI. We get 62.8 frames per second, and then with the single GeForce GTX 780 we get 47. As you can see there, there's a 33% increase with using the two 760s over the single 780. As you can see there, it has paid off there. Now moving on to Metro Last Light. This game is demanding, I will give you that. Is demanding for my 770, and also when I did have a 760 back in my machine. As you can see, with a 780 you're getting 38 FPS, and then with the SLI 760s you're getting 43.8 frames per second. That's a 14% increase, so definitely something to consider. And yeah, that's definitely something to consider, because you can then, now the thing is for games these days is that, fair enough, you might be running it at say 30 or 35 or even 40 FPS, but it could dip down. So the more frames you've got above 30, you've got a high chance that you're not going to dip below 30, because that is the somewhat playable level that some people say it to be. And moving on to the Elder Scrolls v Skyrim, shall I say. With the 780 we're getting 126.2 frames per second, and then with the SLI 760s we're getting 133 frames, so it's only a 3.8% increase there. Not a lot, but Skyrim's been out quite a bit, so yeah, we'll kind of leave that there. Now moving on to power consumption, because I know SLI builds tend to shall I say, use a lot of electric, shall I say. So at idle the 780 uses 54 watts, and then the two SLI 760s both use 51 watts. As you can see there, the 780 is actually doing worse. Actually better off having two 760s SLI. However, yeah, we're moving on to when the cards are at load. So for this test we used Fairmark. This is a CPU stress test, which also takes into consideration your GPU and everything like that. So as you can see, the power consumption for the 780 is 302 watts, and then the power consumption for the SLI 760s is 478 watts. So that is literally just under a 60%. You should just say you're using about 60% more electric with the 780s in SLI. And there we are. Now, just coming to a conclusion. On average, in terms of the, shall I say, the performance increase. As you can see through this graph that I just put together, as you can see, you are getting a good kind of increase of frames with the 760s and SLI. Fair enough, the 780 may be cheaper to buy and might also be cheaper to run via electric and everything, but at the end of the day, the cards are very, very similar. And just going onto the price, just put the price onto the screen. There we are. You can kind of make a justification. So that's the price of two 760s, and there's the price of a single 780. There we are. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. I hope you guys have kind of come to a conclusion. If the SLI is, well, you should have said the SLI is up to you if you guys want to go with two 760s. I would also, I would kind of always recommend going with a powerful single GPU, because then in the future you can upgrade. Well, say if you do opt to go for two 760s and SLI right now, you might not have the expandability, shall I say, or the upgradability options that you would have if you just had one 780. Because then down the line you could have another 780. But then if you want the best performance right now, chances are you're just better off going with two 760s. It's as simple as that. The two 760s just cost a little bit more, and you've seen that today, but you do get more performance when taking in consideration the cost. So yes, I'm just going to say that one kind of drawback to the small 760s is that you only get 2 gigs of GDDR5 memory, and that the 780 comes with 3 gigabytes. So especially if you're opting to run at higher resolutions, it's going to be an advantage for going with the 780. And yeah, just going to say that. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, and also subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye. Hello guys, Mr. Dynamon2050 here. Welcome to another video. In today's video, is that recording? It is indeed, oh my god.